Community radio for North Herts. This is North Herts Radio.
Yes. One of the other big issues that I think you talk about online is about the struggle of getting children into education. They often want to get into education, but if you're living a chaotic lifestyle, it's very difficult. You may not be living on the streets near a school or whatever. How does that work? How do you get
Absolutely. And birth registration is the first one, so that at least allows them the legitimacy to go to school. But of course, if the child has been living on the streets for a while, their ability to sit still in a classroom, in a normal classroom for, 6 hours a day, that just doesn't happen. So we find that with a lot of the children, we have to start in an informal way. So it's, a couple of hours in the morning, a couple of hours in the afternoon. Also, some of the older children are just super embarrassed. They're 14, 15, they can't read, they can't write, and their educational level would put them in a class of 4-year-olds. Well, they don't want to be in a class of 4-year-olds, so of course that's not cool or trendy, so they don't want to do it. And then, of course, when they're still on the streets, they don't smell very good. They're not dressed very well, so other children won't sit next to them. And we have found that even sometimes teachers can't be aren't very accommodating. So a lot of the stuff that we do is engaging with the wider community to talk about the rights that these young children have, engaging with teachers to sort of say, these children deserve and have the right to an education. They should be in your class. So yes, I suppose, as with anything, each journey is individual to that child and the journey that they take. But time and time again, we hear from children that being able to go to school, they start to dream, they start to believe in possibilities.
And that was actually... my next question, which was, have you got success stories where you have done this and where they have started being able to dream?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, children that end up, I can think of one little girl at one of our projects in India, and because she was on the street, she was, doing tiny, minute little chores. I think she was looking at matches and putting clumps of matches together in 10 and tying them up. So all day was taken up by doing this in supporting her mom. So it was to family income. As soon as we managed to get her in school, her self-belief, her self-esteem instantly raised. And, and the idea was that she wants to become a teacher so that she will be able to help other young people, and she wants to talk to the government about things that should be done for street children. They're amazing. They're so resilient. They're so capable. To survive the streets, they are incredible. I couldn't do it. And they just need this teeny tiny hand up, and then their ideas are great, their views are great. So, yes, we have loads of success stories. I remember meeting a young woman in a prison in Guatemala. So she was in jail. She was only about 14, and she had a daughter, and we were doing birth registration. And she was first in the queue. She had dressed her little daughter in the most beautiful outfit. And she came forward and a photograph taken. We couldn't get her to sit still for the photograph. She's a tiny little baby. She wouldn't sit still. And afterwards, we found out that she was suffering from a disease that could easily be curable. I think she was. I want to say she was asthmatic, but I'm not 100% sure. So forgive me on that. But the mum was terrified to let her out of the hospital because she couldn't prove that the little girl was hers because she didn't have her birth certificate. So as soon as she got her birth certificate, it was arranged for her to go to hospital, get the appropriate care, and then come back to her mum. So tiny little things like that.
Yes, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Life transformed by that. So yes, other stories involve young people who have been on the streets, and they've slowly got and built some confidence with the partner to the point where the partner's able to say to them, really, do you want to be here? Do you not think you could go back home? And in a lot of cases, the children can't go back home. But then it's a chat about, could you go to grandma's? And, then the partner will talk to grandma to see whether grandma would happily have the child. So there's a young lad called Kelvin, and he'd been on the street for about 6 months. And when I met him, he came up and he stood next to me. And we'd been chatting for a good 40 minutes. And then he said to me, could I have a hug? And I was like, oh, Oh, yeah, you can. And I've got a 13-year-old son, so, it was just soul-destroying. And I cannot tell you my delight when I came home and 3 months later got an email to say he'd decided to go and live with Grandma. So back with Grandma, things going well. So, and those are the days at Toybox where we pop open the champagne and we celebrate.
Yes.
Because that is one child not lying on the streets tonight in the cold,
Fantastic.
open to whoever walks past them. So yes, so there's great success stories, which I hope are populated all over the website. They are. So
yes,
people
they
want
are.
to look at they can have a look at them.
That's brilliant. So how can people get involved?
Well, it's always about money, isn't it? So of course we need the resources to support our partners. So yes, if people would like to support us, that would be amazing. Information is on our website, which is just toybox.org.uk. And also, I think if people could talk about us, because we're not a very well-known organisation, but I think once you've heard our name, because our name's quite unusual, and people say to me, Toybox, what does it even mean? And all those years ago when the organisation was started, the Toybox was a symbol that each child is deserving of a childhood, and, the toy box with your books and your snakes and ladders games, etc. So talking about us would be wonderful as well, just so that people know that we're there. And if somebody is motivated to support street children, we're the organisation to come to.
Lovely. That's fantastic, Lynne. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
All right. It's been lovely to talk to you.
Great. Well, keep us posted on, any campaigns you've got going and that sort of thing. And we'll obviously everyone's going to be following you on social media and seeing what's happening. And, I remember hearing Princess Anne speak once. She was the patron, I think, of Save the Children. And she said she was working for the day when Save the Children didn't have to exist.
Absolutely.
And I think if we didn't have to talk about these charities, it would be fantastic because it would show that we're all doing the right things. Absolutely.
And I think it's that thing where, street children, it's so abhorrent. It should be in our history books, not sitting in our daily reality. It should be something that's well gone, because we are more than capable as a UK society, as a global society, to not have to have any child living on the street.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Lynne.
All right then. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Take care then. Bye-bye.
Bye.